Good evening. I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy. Welcome to our series on miracles. Today's miracle is described to us in the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 7. Now soon afterward, Jesus went to the town called Nain, accompanied by his disciples and a great number of people. When he was near the gate of the town, it happened that a dead man was being carried out for burial, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. And a considerable number of the townsmen were with her. When the Lord saw her, he felt sorry for her. "Do not cry," he said. Then he went up and put his hand on the bier, and the bearer stood still. And he said to the young man, "I tell you, get up." And the dead man sat up and began to talk. Jesus gave him to his mother. Everyone was filled with awe and praised God, saying, "A great prophet has appeared among us. God has visited his people." And the opinion of him spread throughout Judea and all over the countryside. So Jesus goes to the town of Nain. Well, how to describe Nain? Many of us get Christmas cards, and sometimes on those Christmas cards they try to depict the village of Bethlehem, nice and tiny on top of a hill, little domed houses, and it looks very quaint and nice. Of course, today, Bethlehem is a large suburb of Jerusalem. They keep the downtown square looking very, very traditional, but the rest of the town is, typical suburban town. But Nain actually does look like the picture in those Christmas cards. Nain is a tiny little village in the hills of Galilee. And this is the only time in all the scriptures it's even mentioned. Not a very important place. Not a very big place. You probably could put the whole little village of Nain on the 9 acres of St. Malachy. And all I remember from being there almost 30 years ago was that the houses looked like that Christmas card with one exception. There were a lot of TV antennas. I imagine today those might be replaced with satellite dishes. I don't know. Tiny little place. And Jesus goes there. There's a funeral going on. This young man, the only child, and his mother, a widow. And the young man is being carried out. Now, back in Jesus' day, there's no Medicare, there's no Medicaid, there's no welfare, there's no assistance of any kind. When a woman is left alone as a widow, she's either expected to move in with her adult relations or, alas, take up the life of begging. It's not a very good life left for this poor widow of Nain now that her only child is dead. And Jesus does something quite remarkable. He walks over to the front of the bier, which the body's being carried out on, and he touches it. We might not think anything of it. I've seen funeral directors and pallbearers touch this stuff all the time. But in Jesus' day under Jewish law, unless you were authorized to carry the corpse, one of the people chosen to carry the corpse to the tomb, and you touched anything involving that corpse, you were immediately declared unclean, that the dead body would make you unclean. So Jesus, first of all, is showing his authority over the law by touching that bier. And then he tells the young men to get up. Now, most of us are aware that Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, but he raised other people from the dead as well, including this young man. And this man got up and began to talk. Then he takes the boy and walks him over to his mother and gives him to his mother. Because not only has he raised his son to life, he's given the mother a chance to have a decent life. So a life risen gives the life to someone else. It's a beautiful miracle. Certainly was very important to the son and really important to the mother. So that's the effect of the miracle then. But for us, this miracle is a foretaste. It's a projection to a very similar miracle, only on a universal scale larger. It's going to be Jesus, the only son of a widow, dying on the cross. And his resurrection not only restores life to his mother and all of his disciples, but gives every single one of us who opens their hearts to him the chance to live forever with him.